What's up, guys? Welcome to Some Shit We Like supplemental. Not our actual episode, but something that's hopefully kind of evergreen. And that what we're gonna do today is we're gonna run down our top 10 video games of the decade from 2010 to the end of 2019. We did one for movies. Check that out right there
in the description.
But yeah, now we're gonna get into our games. Favorite games of the decade.
You said evergreen, and the first thing that popped into
Everlong?
my head. No. No, 742 Evergreen Terrace.
Oh yeah. Table five. But yeah, let's talk about some video games. Our favorite
Of the decade.
not best, not most
Just
well
what we
done.
personally like.
This is our personal favorite video games of the decade. And
And these are all games I've completed.
oh shit, really? Same here. I actually didn't expect anything less. And in movies, I went first and you ended up. But in video games, we're going to flip it and you're going to start and I'll end up. So, Rick, what is your number 10 favorite video game of the decade?
If you don't want to count this,
Here we go. Caveat.
I can switch it out
Okay.
easily.
Just give it to me.
Well, what?
Why? Is it not from 2010 to 2019?
No, it is.
Okay, then why wouldn't I count
That's not
it?
an issue.
Just because it's a mobile
I
game.
don't care.
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go? Okay.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, dude, why wouldn't I count that?
Okay, I don't know. Some people don't count mobile games as games.
Yeah, dude. It's fine.
So yeah, Pokemon Go. Like, how could I not put that on the list? I know everyone's probably surprised how low it is, but there are so many fucking games that came out this decade that are incredible.
Dude, for real.
Like, my list goes on, man.
Don't say anything else on your list.
Yeah, but yeah, Pokemon Go had to be on there because, like, I was super excited. I am super excited that it's even still around now, that I still play it.
Yeah.
Anytime I travel for work, so like I go to all the gyms and get all my, Pokeballs and Pokegems and all that shit.
I think it's so funny that this game came out right around your birthday that year too.
It did, yeah.
You have the year, right? What year?
Actually, I did, but I don't.
Rick.
But I want to say it's 2016.
I think it's 2016. I think it's 2016. But yeah, I mean, I got caught up a little bit in fucking Pokemon Fever. It didn't last very long, but I did get caught up a little.
July 6, 2016.
And we all did.
So
Right? You got involved too, but through Annie.
Yeah, and then, like, I think the only... Yeah, she wanted to do it, so then I played, and then it was actually really fun to play in Japan.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Oh,
Like,
man.
it was really cool to play there. But yeah, like, then I fell off of it.
So yeah, Pokemon Go, like, pretty self-explanatory. I mean, hunting Pokemon in IRL.
You fucking asshole.
I mean, nothing can beat that.
Yeah, it's pretty dope, dude.
Yeah. That's my number 10.
Okay. My number 10 is a game from 2018 that I wouldn't shut up about in 2018.
Borderlands.
What?
Like Borderlands. that came out.
And that game is The Messenger. I feel like The Messenger is super overlooked that year because of a few other games that came out in that kind of indie platformer space.
Mm-hmm.
But having played those games, I feel like The Messenger is the best one of those. It's got a cool story. The writing is really funny. I love Ninja Gaiden to begin with, and it's a very kind of send up of Ninja Gaiden. And the twist at the end
Don't spoil it.
is fucking rad as shit.
Because I don't think I'm at that point yet. I'm at the point where I'm now, like, there's like a past and a future, but I don't know if that's the twist.
Have you beat a final boss?
I mean, yeah, there was a point where I thought, I'm like, this is it. And I beat it, but then the game was still happening.
Are you talking about the dragon that's chasing you?
I don't know.
Because that's not the final. That's not the final boss.
Not the dragon.
Either way, there's a fucking rad twist, and I still don't want to talk about it with Bryson for fear he hasn't got to it yet. But I think one of these days you're just gonna have to show me on your Switch where you are, and then I could be like, oh, okay, then I can say this, and this. It's really fucking cool. Because what I thought was the twist, and what a lot of people, including like Dan Reichert and Alex Navarro from Giant Bomb, what they thought was the twist, isn't actually the twist at all. It comes even after that.
So I'm guessing I haven't gotten to the twist
You
yet.
you might have.
Lots of very
talk
twists.
about it. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's a fun ass action platformer that's super brutal, but also like, that's on me. I fucked that up. This is not the game's fault. This is my fault. So number 10 is The Messenger.
Okay. So number 9.
Your number, number 9.
My number 9 is Saints Row 3.
Number 9? Fuck.
I know. I'm
all right.
Saints Row the Third.
Fuck.
Saints Row the Third.
Like for real, man.
He knows how you feel. Yeah, that was tough, man. Like I said, dude, a lot of great games came out, man. But like, I know how much me and you played it, how much fucking we platinumed this game.
I bet there's not another fucking game on this list that he platinumed. I bet. Don't say, because that's my bet.
Nah.
I didn't even know Ray could platinum. Oh, that one.
Platinum trophy, yeah.
I didn't need platinum in the other game.
But like, I fucking had so much fun. I had so much fun with this game. You know that.
Yeah.
It's just thinking about it makes me want to go back and play it too. But
spoilers, it holds up.
Does it?
Yeah, I've been playing it on Switch.
I don't see how it would not hold up. Because like,
I think I wasn't playing with you guys at that time because I think Zelda had just come out.
I believe
so. Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
And I think that's why. Because it's like, why wasn't I not participating with that? They came out like the same day.
Yeah, you did play a bunch of it with me.
I did, but yeah, like I think I focused more on Zelda, and I think that's why you guys.
Yeah, there's only like a few games that I've really spent so many hours with.
So, Bryce, that was the year that you made it your pleasant surprise.
Saints Row?
Yeah, and I was
surprises.
that was the only year, and I was yelling at you that your pleasant surprise can also be on your list, and you were like, "But I don't see that." Like that was the argument we had in 2011. But anyway, Saints Row the Third, fantastic fucking game.
Great game, yeah. And
over 100 hours.
Yeah.
Most of them put in with Rick.
Yeah.
Playing together.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was getting that platinum, cheesing to get the platinum trophy because there was a couple of trophies that are like, there's no fucking way unless you cheese it with somebody else, and so that's what we did. All right, that was your number 9.
Yes.
My number 9 is a 2015 gem that was free for us because we were part of PlayStation Plus.
Oh.
And that, Cheesy, be ready, is
it's not there.
Rocket League. He'll watch this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Rocket League is my number 9 video game of the decade.
Wow.
I put so much time into it. I think I platinumed it in under a week, which is that's how much time I put into it that first week. And then played it constantly, at least 2 or 3 times a week with you and Dan and Josh, Rick, for almost 2 years. We played that game consistently, almost 2 fucking years.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Rocket League, man,
I still want to play it.
Yeah.
I must have a platinum in that too.
I don't know.
Unless there's like some weird thing that like I just haven't done yet, but I feel like I probably do.
No, there was some single player trophies that you didn't do.
Okay.
But yeah, Rocket League is my number 9 game of the year.
That's cool. Yeah, I tried, but Josh was an asshole.
But when you played with Bryce and myself,
it was fun when I played with you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh is always an asshole with video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
What's your number 8 game, Rick?
My number 8 is...
He feverishly makes adjustments.
Adjusting here.
You are adjusting, aren't you?
Yeah, he is.
No, I'm not. The Walking Dead.
Season 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Be specific.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because there are many. Yeah, Season 1 Walking Dead, like, wow.
That's also 2011.
Yeah. I had fun playing that. I was kind of, sort of, my first introduction to, like, just choose your way type of deal. Or story changes.
Telltale style of video game.
There you go, yeah. And I enjoyed it a lot. I liked when the new episodes come out and it said previously on Walking Dead, and then it shows you all the decisions you make and how it's going to affect what you're doing on this episode, and then so on until you get until the very end.
2011 was a fucking year, dude.
That was Yeah, and like I feel like everyone's already played this, but when you get to that ending, like fucking like no, this can't happen. This can't happen.
Yeah.
And it happens, you know?
Clementine, what's the guy's name?
Watches Lee die.
Yeah.
Oh, you watched Lee die?
Did I watch Lee die?
Fucking.
No. I think I left him by himself.
You fucking monster.
I don't remember.
You fucking monster.
I don't remember what I did either.
Yeah, he died.
Yes, he dies, but the way he dies is up to you.
Oh, that's.
I put a fucking bullet in his head because I didn't want him to suffer. That's what I did.
I didn't do
You
that.
left? You just let him die that way?
He told him to go.
No, yeah. But no, you can't let him fucking suffer.
Was there another choice besides that?
I think like there was.
You leave him, or you could.
You
kill him,
can no, you can. I think there was
I-
leave with him, shoot him, and I think you could sit with him until he turns or some shit.
I think I did that. I'm not gonna shoot him.
I couldn't let him suffer.
I don't think I shot him.
The whole game was built upon teaching you to make that choice.
Maybe I did shoot him.
There's
I
that
don't
whole
remember.
episode where he's teaching you how to shoot the gun and tells you sometimes you got to make the hard choices. In episode
I
4.
couldn't make that hard
I
choice.
might have shot him. I just don't remember.
I didn't. It was too hard.
I went and did duck for them so the parents didn't have to do it. In episode 3.
I did duck too. What was the guy that? What was his name? The friend?
Oh, the
Duck's
Kenny.
dad?
Kenny.
Fucking Kenny, man.
Yeah.
I was so upset if he was ever pissed at me. I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, no, we're friends.
Yeah.
Like, I had to make sure we were friends.
Yeah. All right. Fucking Rick. All right. That was your number 8?
Yeah.
My number 8 is something we just talked about. And I think Bryce is going to be like, yeah! Luigi's Mansion 3 is my number 8 game of the decade.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So,
incredible.
yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3, man.
I'm
Smile
loving
the
it.
whole time.
I'm loving, man, that you've got a Nintendo console in your life again and you're playing these games.
You're not the only one, dog. I love it. Maybe even more.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Luigi's Mansion, if you go and check out our favorite video games of 2019,
we
right
definitely
there.
talked about it.
It's in there.
You know what my contribution is to this list? That this decade gave us the gift of getting out of the fucking Wii era and the Switch era began. That was terrible.
Yeah. So Luigi's Mansion, it is so much fun. It's so bright, so colorful. Makes you smile the whole time. You feel bad for Luigi. You fucking want to help him so bad.
Even when you just like leave him alone and he's just standing there, he's like,
Yeah. Fucking Gooigi, new character of the decade, best new character of the decade. But yeah, man, Luigi's Mansion 3 was a fucking breath of fresh air. And
It's a great game.
I know it's super recent, but I don't think I can make this list without it.
Nice. GameCube, then Wii, right? Okay.
Then we fucking
It
you.
was so bad. Like, fuck, I loved my GameCube. And then that was what they went with.
Yep.
So next one is number
7.
7. So Walking Dead. This one is gonna be.
He's fucking.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I want to see Bryce's reaction.
For anyone listening, I did have fun with the Wii. Like, I had fun on my Wii.
Yeah.
So. Why? I can't think why your video game list would make me mad.
I don't know. Everything makes me mad on my list. The Last of Us.
Okay.
Wait,
It's number 7.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, number
What have
7.
you got so far? Pokemon Go is 10.
Yeah.
9,
Saints Row.
Saints Row.
Walking Dead, and now The Last of Us.
Okay.
Last of Us is an incredible game, and this was hard to put down at this far level or slot, because that opening scene is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The ending is fucking amazing.
Yep.
Everything in the middle of this game is amazing.
The way they tell you stories without having to give you a fucking dialogue dump.
Yeah.
The way the environment tells you stories. Yeah.
The whole scenery, the background, the artwork of this game, it's incredible. Again, I played the remastered version. I didn't play the original version.
You didn't play it when it came out?
No, I played the remastered, and it looked really good to me. It looked incredible. Like I don't know how far different
it doesn't look much different.
I figured.
The frame rate's a little bit more stable, and it's a little less jaggy in some spots. It's like really smooth in a lot of spots, like texture wise. But it's not that big of a difference. I hate that they called it a remaster. I really hate that they called it a remaster. But yeah,
Last of Us. It's fucking good. Like, if you have not played this, what the fuck is wrong with you? Second one's coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
May.
My number 7 is also from 2018. It's another game I would have shut up about. In fact, it was my number 1 that year. And that's Paladins. Is number 7 on my list.
Interesting. I thought it'd be a little bit higher.
I thought so too, sir. I thought so too.
What was your other 2018 game?
The Messenger at number 10.
Yeah.
So, Paladins. I've gushed about it over the last 2 years here. So I don't really need to do it anymore. But it is everything I loved about Overwatch, but even more so because, like I said earlier, if you watch our Games of the Year, I brought up Paladins because I can't have an episode where I talk about video games where I don't bring up Paladins.
Yeah.
Shut up, Joss Whedon. I found a couple of characters in every class that I love to play as. And I don't feel like, oh, they picked this character, I don't want to fucking play now. Or, oh, I gotta be support. Like, no, I found a character or two in every class that is a joy to play. And they keep adding maps, and they keep adding characters, and it continues to grow and grow and grow. And yeah, it was like probably the most hours I've put into a game on Switch, and I'm nearing 200. Wow. It's fucking great. Paladins is amazing. That's my number 7.
Yeah, like, it's not on my list. But I don't think that's a surprise.
I don't see it in your top 50, but I know you had fun playing with me.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun playing with you. Like, it was weird because I didn't like it at first. I'm like, what the fuck is this game? And I'm like, play a little bit more. I ended up fucking liking it, for what it was.
Yeah, and then I was like, what character are you picking, Rick? And he's like, oh, this character, I don't know.
I still don't know.
Yeah.
It just looks like Felicia Day.
I go, okay, she's a damage-dealing character, so I'm going to help you out by being this support character that can heal you all the time. And Rick had a fucking blast because he was getting kills and earning points because I kept healing and we were rolling together.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how those games work, man. You find some people to play with and some people that play the roles you need them to play, and it becomes one of those things where you're like, how did I ever not like this game?
I mean, maybe one day I can get into a game like that, but like, it's just, I don't know. They're just not for me.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Time to death in those games is shitty. It's seconds if you're not playing with a team of people that are there to help you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I won't say ever. There'll probably be a time where there'll be a game like that, but yeah, like it's not a shooter.
Oh, my turn, right? Number 6?
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 is going to be a shocker.
He said that twice and we haven't been shocked yet.
Uncharted 4.
Is number 6? Okay.
I'm not that shocked because I can already think.
Unless like
you're like, oh, okay.
I'm just gonna say this now. Well, wait, hold on.
It was hard to
pick. I can't say that.
Between Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4.
That was my same fight I had with my list?
Because they're both in that same slot, in my opinion.
I stopped myself because I was like, well, Uncharted 2 will be near the top of his list. Then I'm like, wait, that didn't come out. It came out in 2009.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't come out in this decade.
No,
oh, shit, it did come out in 2009. Yeah, okay. I think it did, yeah.
I mean, I liked 2, but 3, but 3, like the way
2009.
You fucking think Sully's dead.
Maybe it's just because I met, like, we...
In 3? Yeah.
Maybe it's just because, like, the first time I ever met you was on Uncharted, and I just felt like you loved playing, like, you fucking loved Uncharted.
Oh, I love the online
and
play.
So
yeah.
I felt like among these probably would have been your top.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was really hard to pick between those two for this slot.
Yeah.
But 4, I felt like was the wrapping the bow on the top of the present.
I still say it, man. Those games got better and better and better as they got released. Did get better. I know people like to say that 2 is the best because it, innovated the most. Great. 1 is a great proof of concept with a very terrible jet ski section.
Oh, fuck.
2 is a great elaboration on that proof of concept with a terrible fucking section on chapter 17 where you're in the temple with all those fucking gears. It doesn't fucking work ever, the platforming. Number 3 is near perfection.
Why can I not remember? Is 3 the one that starts off when you're little?
Yes.
That's number 3. It doesn't start off.
Doesn't it?
That happens in the game.
It happens in the game.
You learn about the origin of Drake and Sully's relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went with 4 just because it kind of wraps it up. And that ending to 4 was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And that was your number 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 7 for you was Last of Us? Is that what you said? my number 6 is The Last of Us. It's pretty funny.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Near perfect video game. Naughty Dog doing what they do. Tugging at your heartstrings. Forcing you to make hard decisions. The ending of that game when you're leaving the hospital. I know a lot of people talk about it as being like a forced decision. And like, I wouldn't have made that decision. And I have found that all the people that say that don't have kids or pets or anything they really love in life. Because I'm not, dude, that choice you make in the fucking parking garage is not a choice. You murking that chick in the fucking parking garage is the only choice. The only choice.
Noise.
And I'll fight anybody that says, well, I wouldn't have done that. And if you say that and you don't have kids or you don't have a significant other in your life or you don't have a fucking dog or a cat or something that you've loved with your whole heart and you don't put yourself in that position with that entity and think, well, I don't think I would have just sat there and let them come get me. No, you wouldn't have. You'd have murked that bitch and ran away. Just like you do in that video game.
Can I give my reason why I shot?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the only choice you have, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I knew right away, boom, like, don't fuck with...
Exactly!
Don't fuck with her.
That's my point.
But another reason behind it was because, like, how do we know that it was even going to work? You don't know that.
Right.
You know? And, like, where...
Just
like,
because
you
it hasn't
murdered
affected
all
her.
the fucking scientists and, like, the people in that area. You know, like, how do you know if it's going to work? How do you know, are you going to find the right people to do whatever needs to be done to get
right
the antidote or the cure?
You've already started down that path. You got to keep going. There's no looking back.
What do you mean?
Like you're saying, you just went through the scientists and everybody in the hospital.
Yeah, like you have
There's
to.
no looking back.
Choice.
There's no looking back.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's my number
And I
6.
kind of want to segue into another game similar decision making, but I can't.
You actually do have a choice though, or you just keep fucking. You're joking when you say you don't have a choice.
I don't think you do have a
No,
choice. You don't have a choice.
in the parking garage with the girl from the
Right,
Fireflies.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
because
you don't.
she's
It's been a while.
You don't have a choice with her.
she's gonna kill you
Yeah.
too.
But what's your argument? Because some people had an issue with that.
Yeah, that they felt like their hand was forced, and that there should have been a choice there to
Part 2.
peaceably leave without killing her. And while I can understand that, but like I said, everybody I've heard say that, especially at the time that the game came out, I bet you Jeff Kanata's opinion on that final sequence has changed drastically now that he has 2 kids.
Oh, he didn't like that?
Nope.
Wow.
I bet I don't know if Garnet Lee ends up having kids now, but he was somebody on on We Can Confirm that said that you shouldn't have been forced to shoot her in the parking garage. And like there were people on the show, it's like, but Garnet, you don't have any kids. And he's like, well, no, but I have nieces and nephews. Like, no, but you don't have something or someone like that for you.
Yeah.
So I understand where you're coming from and what you're saying. I think they had not Gary Whitta, I can't remember his name, Paul something or other, who worked at EA for a while, and I can't remember, and he has a kid, and he said like, no, there is no fucking choice. If that was my daughter, there is no choice. And 2013, I had 2 kids, and you goddamn right, there is no fucking other choice than what you have to do in that parking garage. So that's my number 6, The Last of Us from 2013. Rick, we're into the fucking top 5, sir. What's your number 5? As he flips over.
No, I did not.
He keeps looking at you like you're gonna be mad at him or
I
something.
can't.
Destiny 2.
Part 2, not 1?
Not 1.
Okay. I do know. I totally get that. You put so much time into that game. I know. That was your like. Go ahead. I'll let you talk about it.
No, yeah, like 2. I hate to say the word corrected everything from the first one. They just improved.
No, that's the right word.
Okay, I guess corrected everything, but improved also on the mechanics, on the weapons, and like
the writing and the
characters, more story depth than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I put number 2 at my number 5 or Destiny 2 at my number 5 is because like and not the first one is because of all that corrections they made or all the improvements they made to that. The characters, like the voice actors that they got for it, like having Nathan Fillion and Gina Torres, like in it, like 2 Firefly alumni in here, like that just made it even better for me.
Right.
You know, and they were in the. She was in the first one. Was he in the first?
He was
first one too.
I think that character was. I think he was.
But like, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I like having fun playing the raids. It's a great game. I really do love it a lot. And it's one of those games where I can just turn it on and just start playing.
Yeah, I had more fun with 2 than I did 1, but I also felt like I got my money's worth after finishing the single player with you and never really dipped into any of the post-game stuff, which I don't feel bad about. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing anything, and I think that's the mark of a really good game, because I know a lot of people grind on that game the way I do the Borderlands franchise.
Yeah, the expansion stuff, like, you're not missing much. There's more story, but the game alone itself is great.
Yeah, it's definitely an awesome game. Yeah, man, I totally see that in your top 5 for sure.
Number 5.
My number 5 game of the decade is Uncharted 4 Thief's End. I almost said Among Thieves. That's 2. It is Uncharted 4 Thief's End. I think it's funny that his 7 and 6 are my 6 and 5.
Yeah, it is funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. Uncharted 4 Thief's End. Again, it was almost Uncharted 3, but I genuinely enjoy, and that's not to say I couldn't have Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4 on this list.
Right.
I just felt like it would have been a cop-out, similar to how we were talking about recently on this show about how, like, you know, yeah, I could say that Burnout Paradise Remaster is my game of the decade because I put the most time into it, but, like, that's a cop-out. It's unfair. And I feel like taking 2 spots for games in the same franchise is kind of a cop-out. Even though I do really love Uncharted 3 a lot, I forced myself to make that choice because Uncharted 3 would have been in this spot.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been mad if you had both on there. I mean, it works. It counts.
Yeah, Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4 like would have been either 6 and 5 or 5 and 4 if I were to do that. But I really didn't feel like having that fight with myself as much as I love having those fights with myself. I was like, no, I'm just going to go with Uncharted 4. And Uncharted 4 Thief's End wraps things up, introduces you to a character that didn't exist for fucking 7 years, and then it's like, oh, here's a fucking character because we need to add someone new. And then I felt like that was going to really bring it down, but it didn't, because I got my wish. I got my buddy game, my buddy road story with Nolan North and Troy Baker. Yeah, so I loved it, man. It's fantastic. It's the best in the series. And it's not on the list, but I want to throw a quick shout out to Lost Legacy because it made me care about 2 characters that I don't fucking like whatsoever at all.
Yeah, you don't like her at all.
Either one of them in that world. And
I don't like Nadine at all.
It made me care about.
But I loved Chloe.
I know you guys did. It made me care about both of them.
Wait. I was always the one that loved Chloe.
Oh, she does
I
too.
love Chloe too.
You guys used to always...
No. I said Elena. He always agreed with you. He would just agree with you quietly, and we were always focused on each other. He always agreed with you. Yeah. Always.
Elena's the blonde, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, I mean, I love her, but, like, I can see why she would be with Elena.
He loves Chloe, just like you do.
Or why he should be with her.
So, I just want to throw a quick shout out. Like, talking about Uncharted 4, I want to say, like, it really is 4, 3, 2... Golden Abyss 1. That's the order of best Uncharted games.
Uncharted, the original Uncharted is, I honestly think that's what put me over the top in finally getting a fucking PlayStation.
Yep, it was.
I kept seeing the commercials and shit for it. Just like, man, that looks cool, and I like, because I think, right then I was just kind of like, I was happy with my Nintendo Wii. I thought it was fun, but then there were so many other game experiences that were coming out that I'm just like, this isn't... The GameCube would still get a lot of stuff, or still would scratch itches for me.
You're right.
But then the Nintendo Wii came out, and it's like, I'm going to miss out on a lot of stuff if I don't get another thing. And so, yeah. Yeah,
we had that conversation, because you were like, you have both. What would you, if you had the choice, what would you get, a PS3 or an Xbox 360? I told you, get a PS3. Because you are going to get Uncharted in a few months. You're going to get a bunch of awesome first-party games.
Yeah.
Metal Gear. Possibly at the time I was like, we might even get more Silent Hill games. We're gonna get more. Yeah.
I got into Senior Rock Band came out. I think it just come out. Rock Band was one of the first things I had. Uncharted. Yep.
So yeah, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End is fucking spectacular, and I can't wait to see what they do with this franchise. I know they're. I
think they're done.
No, they put it on ice for now, but they're not done. They're not done.
They've created something like maybe it's not gonna have Nathan Drake in it. Maybe it will. I don't know, but it's kind of like saying Mario Brothers is just done.
I would take a standalone game that's $25 or $30 like Lost Legacy that's about Sully and Sam's adventures. I would take a fucking side story or a full fucking game about their daughter. Like, yeah, dude.
I don't like Sam.
I do. He's a fucking dickbag.
Sam's the brother, right?
Mm-hmm. But you like him at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 5. Rick, what's your number 4?
My number.
You know this is being filmed, right?
I do know. Hi, everybody. My number 4 is Pokemon Shield.
That's not like he's laughing like we're gonna be mad at it or something. I totally understand that. I totally get that. That's his shit. That's totally. I thought maybe it would have been the one on DS that he was playing all the time.
X.
Yeah, X and Y or whatever.
3DS.
Yeah, 3DS.
No, that was great, but wow, fucking Pokemon Shield, man. I mean, I've already talked about it in our top 2019 games, so you can go check that out. But real quick, it's a great game. I loved it. It's everything I wanted in a Pokemon game, just like with Pokemon Go. Like with Pokemon Go, real life, go around everywhere. And this one, there's a ginormous world, chunk of land that you can explore, and a free open range to go wherever you want.
Are you looking
like Breath of the Wild, like?
Were you looking over at me like that because I think that should be your number 1?
No, I was just looking at you because I want.
He wants to see a reaction.
I just want to see a reaction.
Okay.
I'm glad I haven't upset you with any of mine right now.
Have I upset you?
I'm not mad.
But I'm not proud of you either.
Pokemon Shield, right? Yeah, that's awesome, man. My son really loves that game.
It's a great game, man.
He told me he wanted to. He said he wanted to play it again from the beginning. I said, dude, the only way to do that is to delete your save.
Yeah.
And he goes,
You want another one?
Yeah, please. And he goes, oh. And I go, so that means any Pokemon you've caught, any shiny you've caught, any rare ones you caught, any Dynamax or Gigantamax you might have, those are gone.
Thank you.
And you'll have to find them again if you want them again. And he goes, let me think about it. And he came back 2 days. He came back 2 days later. He goes, I want to start over. And I go,
oh my god.
So I'm deleting it. And he goes, I know, but I want to start with a different starter. And I go, you could just go catch that starter somewhere.
I can send it to him.
Or you could trade it with. We've already done it. We've already done the thing.
Oh.
And he goes, I know, but I want to try with different teams. I go, you can make different teams. You don't have to start over. And he goes, but I really like the story. And I go,
oh, well,
all right, dude, cool.
There it is.
It's a great story.
Does Rick know about the family purchases?
Oh, I don't know.
Family purchases?
Yeah, we got my daughter a Switch for Christmas, and then we got my wife a Switch the other day.
So she has one too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Family
wow.
of Switches.
We're bitches with Switches.
And Michaela, yes. And Michaela, yeah, I got him. And Michaela's got 10 hours of Mario Kart already.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 9.5 of it is getting smoked by me, by the way. So, and the other half hour is her trying to unlock things alone.
Is there something Alexis is like really wanting to play? Or was it
Mario Kart.
just Mario Kart?
And the SNES and NES games. So that's your number 4.
Yeah.
My number 4, this might, I don't know if it'll shock the house, but this might shock the house that it's number 4 and not higher on the list. Mm-hmm. Borderlands 2 is my number 4 game of the decade. I think I know Paladins is only a year and a half to 2 years, but I think Borderlands 2 is the only game other than Paladins that I've played more.
Yeah, I thought that'd at least be like...
That's on this list.
2 or 3.
Hundreds and hundreds, probably 300 hours, I'd guess. There's no hour count, but I'm kind of like 3 playthroughs with my main, 2 playthroughs with my secondary, 1 playthrough with every other Vault Hunter that's in the game, and there's 6 total. Grinded out legendaries even to a point where last year, before they announced anything about Borderlands 3 or they announced the expansion that was coming for free to bridge the two games together, like, I was back in it, grinding on legendaries. Like, I never had this gun. I want to go find this gun. Let me go. And so I've subsequently found a couple of YouTubers that I watch almost every day now that are Borderlands specific YouTubers because they had the best farming guides for weapons. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, Borderlands 2, man, is my number 4 game of the decade. And it, all right. So spoiler real quick, Borderlands 3 is not on this list. Borderlands 3 is not a complete product yet. That's the only reason why 3 is not on this list. There's still 3 more things of DLC, countless raids, they're supporting this game for a long time. Borderlands 2...
I get that.
Borderlands 2 beat it out because as a complete product, as something that I don't ever have to go back to, I still fucking do. Even since 3 has come out, I've gone back to 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So, Borderlands 2, man, is my number 4 game of the decade, and I think it was number 1 that year.
I'm trying to figure out the rest of your list. There's one game that I think is going to be on it for sure. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong, though, but I feel like it's going to be. But You should
write it down in a note, just in case.
Yeah, I'll write it down right now. Why? Just because you want to know?
I want to know that you know if you actually know. Okay. So that's my number 4. Rick, what is your number 3 game of the decade?
I'm a person of sequels. I really like sequels. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised I didn't pick Uncharted 2 as well. Mm-hmm. But like I said, that game thing just got better and better. My Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I knew it.
You didn't. So you like that more than than Tomb Raider? The Tomb Raider.
I mean, I liked them. I liked the game.
Yes.
I mean,
no, I know. I'm just asking.
Like the third one left me.
Wanting more?
Yeah. Fuck, I need to start the next game because I want to know what happens.
So Rise is the second one?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure you know that Rise of the Tomb Raider is the second one in that trilogy.
What number are we on right now? 3?
Number 3. Yeah.
So, yeah, when it left you on a cliffhanger like that, I was like, fuck, I want to know what happens next.
Yeah.
So,
how great of a character is Jonah? God, he's such an awesome character.
Yeah, I love that character. That's like the Sully version.
So how do they kill him in Shadow of the Tomb Raider? I don't know. I'm just guessing.
You haven't played it?
No, I haven't played Shadow of the Tomb Raider
I'm not going to say anything.
I know. That's why I started laughing.
A game that Rick has never touched.
Until this year.
And now Mike is behind you. Mike had been playing, at least started the series, and now you surpassed him.
So yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider, number 3 is... number 3 slot is incredible. Bryce, fucking start it, man.
You got to play those, dude. You've got to.
I know I have to.
Then you'll be here saying, "Fuck, man, I do wish I started that a lot sooner."
Yeah. I really do feel like you would love it.
I'm sure I would. There's so many games though that I have to play.
Too many games.
There's too many games.
Yeah. No, I get that. And my Steam is getting longer and longer.
Steam's trouble for that reason too.
Yeah, it's big trouble.
Hey, and right behind them, Game Pass and sales that Microsoft does, and PlayStation Plus free games and sales that they do are. I just fucking bought 2 Assassin's Creeds. I said I'd never play because they were on sale for $25 for a bundle.
You got problems.
So, it is a problem, but
Yeah.
people do that shit in Steam. That's a thing, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the sales are insane.
You can open up Steam every day and you'll see something new on.
Or get an email. Something on your wish list is on sale today.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't really have a gaming computer right now because I would just be in trouble.
Yeah. Your backlog would be bigger than Cheesy's.
Yeah.
All right. So that.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 3 game is a game I've played multiple times, and I also played a lot of it online. And my number 3 game is Grand Theft Auto 5. That is my number 3 game of the decade.
Wow, I did not expect that.
What? At all? Or you didn't expect it at number 3? Or you didn't expect it on his list?
I just didn't expect it.
He was nodding his head like he knew what number 3 was gonna be,
And then
it wasn't it. But Grand Theft Auto 5, man, like I can't deny that game. It sold
Games.
billions of copies, made trillions of dollars.
That game's awesome.
We put hundreds of hours into online.
Yeah.
I've played through the single player story mode twice, once on PS3 and once when it came out on PS4. You played some of it again on PS4, but you finished it on PS3, right? Completely.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I actually recently bought it for a third time. You guys know about this though. We've talked about it because it was on sale for stupid cheap.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You traded it back.
Yeah. And so it's sitting on my hard drive right now, and I just haven't fired it back up to play it because I know what'll happen. I'll play through the fucking story mode
You have
again.
it digital now.
Yeah, I have it digital now. But yeah, man, Grand Theft Auto 5. The lead
cool.
characters are amazing.
Yeah.
That's
the game that got me into Grand Theft Auto.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we played 4.
We played 4, but I mean, it was all right.
You made it about 3 hours into 4. You got to the big, shit, the story dump. But then, similar to me, man, that's the first time I tried playing Grand Theft Auto 4. That's where it fell apart after that. Because then it's a lot of busy work until the next big story mission.
And I think I just didn't like the character. I don't know. I don't think I liked the character all that much. What was his name?
Nico Bellic.
Yeah, I don't like Nico.
Yeah.
But I had,
And
I
Roman
had
was
fun
a fucking
jumping off
shitbag.
buildings with you.
Yeah, online.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5, man. It's the best Grand Theft Auto game Rockstar has ever made to this date. San Andreas is a close second and is the only other Grand Theft Auto game I've gone back and since and completed 4. Because it was on sale stupid cheap.
Yeah.
I got problems. I got fucking problems. But up until that point, San Andreas was the only one I had finished. And then 5. And then went back and did 4. And then 5 again. Yeah. And then recently played San Andreas again. And I'm 4/5 of the way through Vice City right now, a game I love but I've never finished. I'm almost done with 3 because I bought the bundle that's on PS4 years ago. But yeah, man. Grand Theft Auto as a franchise is one of my favorite franchises, and I've only finished 2 games in the franchise, which is hilarious.
That is really funny.
So that's my number 3, GTA 5.
You know what's crazy? Like we went through a whole console generation without another new.
Without a real new Grand Theft Auto, yeah.
Because it came out kind of towards the end of
2013
PS3 life, right?
Yep, May or June of 2013.
So, I read this on, maybe it was Kotaku or something, like people making predictions of what they think, and I'm going to throw out there and see if this was someone's prediction, see what you think. Does Grand Theft Auto 6 get announced this year?
I would hope so.
I think so.
I'd say yes.
Because, I mean,
there's my hat over the wall, say yes.
I think so.
There's fucking rumors that Sony had it on the slate to show at E3 last year.
I think it gets announced, and I think at this point, it's like, it just has to be next gen.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
Number 2?
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is Marvel's Spider-Man.
I know 2 games on your list, actually, now.
Okay, did you write them both down?
I'm writing the second one down.
Marvel's Spider-Man, the recent one that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, fucking amazing. This is the fucking movie we deserve.
Yeah.
You know, the actor
Yuri Lowenthal.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing he's voicing Peter Parker to a T, and the graphics or what, I mean, I don't know if he did the motion capture for it or whatever, but his acting is incredible.
God, just fucking slinging through the city during the day.
The mechanics of the game, just
so good.
It's has that Grand Theft Auto feel.
I'm
where
surprised
you can
that's not. Honestly, I thought that was
around.
going to be his number 1. I thought that was going to be his number 1. Spider-Man.
Oh. I have no clue what his number. Well, yes, I do. Now
I'm sure you guys already know. But yeah, fuck, the game is amazing. The story is amazing. The DLC is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Cat DLC is great. But going back to the storyline, the main storyline of this game is incredible. It fucking rips your fucking heart out and just stomps it on the floor.
Yep. When you don't think a Spider-Man story can do that to you again, like it's done repeatedly with Uncle Ben, they do it to you again.
Yeah.
A few times. for different reasons in this one.
Yeah.
It fucking escalates, and then it hits a thing, and then it escalates again, and then hits you right in the balls, dude. Right in the fucking balls.
On different levels, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so great. Like, play it.
This is number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Number 2.
Okay. So now I have 3 possible games that could be on yours. on yours.
On mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, on his.
And so one of them. Now the first one that I thought I have a feeling is getting the Shaft entirely, which I'm kind of surprised by, but we'll find out in a second.
All right. My number 2 is Saints Row the Third.
I can't believe that was that high on
That's
your list.
my number 2 game of the fucking decade.
I honestly...
You haven't said it yet. Man, the game that I'm thinking, I think is not on the list. I almost want to say it now.
For his list?
Just wait. We're almost there.
wait.
We're almost there. Yeah.
Like, I honestly didn't expect it to be on your list.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Really?
Just because you've played a shit ton of games
Yeah.
that you always talk so highly about. Like, I didn't even think it'd make your
That's
list.
why he was surprised at where it was on yours.
Yep. This game got the fucking shaft by every video game outlet in the world because
agree.
everybody gave Game of the Year to Skyrim that year, which was a broken piece of garbage
I didn't play it.
until February the following year when they patched the majority of the problems out of it. But when people did Game of the Year, Skyrim was almost unfinishable and completely broken on every fucking platform. And everybody was talking about it. Giant Bomb and IGN and GameSpot and everywhere that had anything to do with making a Game of the Year list was how much fun Saints Row the Third was. How much of a shock that it was as good as it was because people didn't like 2 as much as they liked the first one. And the fact that 2 and 3 now were on both consoles when 1 started out as an Xbox exclusive, and the voice acting and the sing-along moment that happens early in the game,
I can hear it in my head. Right?
the death that happens at the top of the fucking game, that they go on to retcon in Saints Row 4, which really bummed me out. But everything about Saints Row the Third, for its time, in that bubble in 2011, is absolutely fucking perfect. The music choices, the writing, the characters, the way that they use music in the cutscenes, the ridiculously slow motion walk to Kanye's Power for no fucking reason. I Need a Hero playing in the climax of the game.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan playing a voice in the game and being fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Rob Van Dam doing a voice in the game, and I had to tell you it was Rob Van Dam because you didn't know. Saints Row the Third.
Did you do that with me recently? Greg Miller or someone was a voice in... Was it Greg Miller?
No.
Someone did a voice and I was...
It was in Borderlands 3.
Oh, Chris Hardwick.
Chris Hardwick, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. Saints Row the Third is my number 2 game of the decade.
Okay.
I
I think I have your number 1. I know what's getting the shaft, and I think I know your number 1.
Do you see how angry I've been waiting fucking 9 years
no idea what
to
your
tell
number one
people how stupid they were for giving Skyrim Game of the Year that year.
Awesome.
Because it was not fixed until February of 2012.
So I do have 2 things on here, just so you know. And in parentheses after each of them, I wrote Mike's number 1, and then I wrote Rick's number 1.
Okay.
It's already written down, so
Okay.
that way you guys can
I believe you.
guess right, I guess right.
I believe you.
And then I'll show it.
Rick, what's your number
You
1?
just want to be right, and I want to say something completely different.
What's your number 1?
My number 1 is Beyond Two Souls.
I was wrong.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, really? Because I talked a lot about that game.
What did you think his number 1 was?
Detroit Become Human.
I thought it was going to be Heavy Rain.
Wow.
All Quantic Dream games.
Interesting. Heavy Rain came out? Are you sure?
Yep.
Yeah, 2010.
Oh, wow.
February of 2010.
February 2010.
Just barely made the
Just
cut
before
off.
I moved to San Diego.
Mhm.
Well, a few months before.
Yeah, nothing has... Like, dude, it's a fucking movie / interactive movie.
It's
I
actually
love that.
it's actually a movie. If you don't touch the controller, it plays out. There is a quote unquote canonical way of that game playing, and if you leave it alone, that's one of the things that was a big knock on the game, but that people discovered that if you just do nothing, it furthers. Yeah.
I'm surprised Detroit Become Human's not even on your list. Because I forgot you did love Beyond Two Souls.
Oh.
I know you did. I just didn't even think. I didn't think about that. I didn't run through.
Remember, he didn't play it when we played it.
Yeah.
He didn't play it till last year or this year.
No. I played it like 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago when it came out?
Whenever it was remastered
when it
or
re-released on PS4, that's when he played it because he bought that pack that had Heavy Rain and Beyond, and he started playing Heavy Rain, and he hates the beginning of that game, so he couldn't even make it past that stuff. I
enjoyed it the first time. The second time I played it, I didn't like doing.
Wait, you didn't even complete Heavy Rain?
The second time.
Second time.
I bought the same thing. I think. I think I did it.
But yeah.
But yeah, man, Beyond Two Souls, like
so good.
Getting like again, I love the decision makings. I love the choices. I can see why you would think Detroit Become.
Yeah,
I just didn't even think about Beyond Two Souls. Like, again, I didn't. This is just stuff that's just coming to me. So if I saw that game came out, like I just didn't think.
Gotcha.
So,
Right.
But yeah, like the decision making, like having Ellen Page and
Willem Dafoe
in this, like, I mean, not to say like, I mean they're actors, but not to say. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
Like, because like I know I follow these actors
in 2000
IRL, you know.
13?
What?
13 Beyond
13, I believe. I didn't write it down, but
got you.
But yeah, like. I remember I voxed one of you and I asked you because like there was a choice where you can play it chronologically and you told me not to play it the way it was intended, and I'm glad I did play it that way, because it does jump back and forth between the present and the future, or the present and the past.
Did anybody ever do a chronological playthrough?
I want to.
I haven't.
Eventually.
I want to actually go back and do that, but yeah,
but like, her journey with Aiden and how like you find out who this entity is and like why it's always around her, why it's protecting her, like it's incredible. And then you get to that game or to the ending, you know, spoiler alert, you know, did you play it? Okay. Like
when it came out.
Yeah.
That's right.
Motored through that game.
Yeah, like when you get to that point, like where you choose between staying with him or going back to the real world, like.
And then there's choices on top of that.
Yeah,
then
and
where do you go after that?
There's the chain that continues after that, and it's like, fuck. It was such a great game.
It's fantastic.
Such a great game. Yeah. I love it so much, and I loved it. That's my number one for the decade. Easy, hands down.
I'm wrong.
All right.
I think I got you though.
My number one game.
I have no idea.
Of the decade, from January 1st, 2010, to December 31st, 2019.
Oh wait, okay. Now you said okay. Never mind.
Red Dead Redemption.
So, I wrote it. But I'm shocked that didn't make your list.
That would have deducted.
I can't
Odyssey?
believe that didn't make your list.
I
actually, for a little bit when you kept going, because how much you talked about that game, I'm like, that game's gonna be in Mike's top 5. And then when you fucked me up when you rattled off Saints Row, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm like, wait, when did Red Dead come out? Because that's gonna be on this list. And that's when I figured out, I'm like, Odyssey's getting the shaft.
Yeah, that when you mentioned Saints Row, that distracted me because I was thinking Red Dead Redemption 2
was gonna be number 2.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be somewhere there, but I just forgot.
It took me a second, but I'm like, that's your number one.
Go for it.
Man, I'm shocked. Well, go ahead. We'll get into that later.
Red Dead Redemption is it's Rockstar's best game they've ever made. It's I talked about Red Dead Redemption 2 and how when that came out, and I said it's weird that because I even said it then. I said like. Isn't it weird that the sequel to my game of the generation for PS3 was my most disappointing game of the year of 2018?
Really funny.
But it's still Red Dead 2 still made my top 5 because the story is so strong. But the thing that game lacks that Red Dead Redemption 1 has is heart, the writing of characters. For me, it was the first game. And I think, honestly, it probably was the first game that had ambient side quests. It wasn't like, go see this person for a side quest and they'll give you a thing to do. You're riding down the trail on your horse. You see someone in trouble. You stop to help them. They fuck you over. You get ambushed. You kill them all. or you literally give someone a ride to town, or you actually help them change the tire on their wagon. Like, every time one of those things popped up, I'm like, all right, am I going to get fucked right now and murdered? Or is this going to be a fun little side quest that I can talk to the guys about? John Marston is one of the... It's so funny the way they wrote his character in 1 as opposed to the way they wrote him in 2. He's a simple man. I won't call him stupid, but he's a very simple man with his heart, his intentions, and his personality on his sleeve. And I really dislike the way they wrote him in Red Dead 2, which is a prequel to Red Dead 1. But yeah, man, it's... the world, the city, the little cities you come into contact with. Thieves Landing is one of the coolest areas in video games to go to, because if you're dressed a certain way, you get more money for playing poker. Greg Miller always tells a story about Red Dead where you're helping this guy, or you're helping somebody get flowers for their significant other, and then you find out that that person has been dead, and they have them kind of cocooned in their house. And Greg Miller tells a story that he walked after that. He said, mission passed and all that, and he walked out of that house. He put his fucking handkerchief up on his face, went back in, and killed the person because he didn't want that person living like that anymore. And when he told that story, I was like, holy shit, I did the same fucking thing for the same reason.
That's crazy.
Because that character in that game was tormented and didn't see it. And I took it upon myself, a little street justice, if you will, to put them out of their misery.
So that's interesting, because I think I just didn't know. So Greg Miller liked the first Red Dead, but he hated 2.
Do you want to come sit down over here now?
Yeah. He didn't hate it, he disliked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember that thing with Jared Petty, and he's just like, he didn't even go back. I don't even think he finished it.
Yeah. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption, man, my game of the decade. I want to point out something else that is not on my list anywhere that I'm surprised you guys haven't called out. A Rock Band game is not on my top 10.
I didn't think that would be.
A Guitar Hero game is not in my top 10.
Yeah, I don't know that I thought that either. What came out in those periods?
Good Rock Band, arguably the best Rock Band 3. Rock Band Green Day came out in 2010-ish, 11-ish, I think.
Rock Band 3 came out in
2010. Yep.
All right.
Green Day might be 09, actually. Maybe summer of 09. But yeah, man, that's
It's
my...
a little surprising, yeah.
That's my list.
Should we rattle off the bottom ones?
Yeah, go for it, dude. Tell me your stuff. So, hold on, I'm responding. You can go. I'm not being an asshole. I'm responding to a text message. That.
All right. Just going to rattle these off. Everything past 10 and under. Or over. 11 is Until Dawn.
Okay.
Wait, what's Until Dawn?
The horror.
That is the...
It scared the fucking shit out of me.
That game that's like a story, right? Yeah, okay.
That's 11. Number 12 is Portal 2.
Yeah, Portal 2 is not on my list.
What year did that come out?
2011.
Okay. God, that feels like so...
I feel like a long time ago.
Portal 2 feels like forever.
Yeah. 13 is Detroit Become Human. 14 is Heavy Rain. Life is Strange and Gone Home.
Okay.
If you actually played the games more, I'm pretty sure Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild would be on your list, but for some reason you just don't.
My number 11, Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
My number 11,
Super Mario Odyssey.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. My number 11, Heavy Rain. Number 11, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Made my top 20.
Interesting.
Yeah. Number 11, Sleeping Dogs.
I bought that.
Because I wouldn't shut up about it.
It was on sale.
Number 11, The Walking Dead Season 1. Number 11, Infamous 2. Number 11, DJ Max Portable 3 for the PSP. Came out in 2010. There's a rhythm game on my list.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Number 11, Enslaved Odyssey to the West. And finally, at number 11, Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom.
Huh. Breath of the Wild doesn't sniff it?
No.
Really?
No.
Look how far Pokemon
That surprises me.
Awesome game. Loved my time with it. But for me, was a letdown of a Zelda game. We've talked about that. Like, I really enjoyed my I do not regret any of the 75 hours I put in that game.
I just remember listening to you talk about it. You were so giddy talking about that game while playing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you would review it later, sometimes I was kind of like, this doesn't sound like the same person that played the game. But that's why I'm surprised that you don't even have that.
Yeah, and like I always like in that Gaming Dad's page that I'm a part of on Facebook, everybody asks like this recently came up. Oh, best Zelda game, and I can always tell how old people are based on what Zelda they pick, because everybody around our age says Ocarina of Time, which is the true right answer, and everybody under 30 picks Breath of the Wild because they probably haven't played Ocarina of Time or any other Zelda games. As far as Zelda games go,
I got a different list.
Yeah? As far as Zelda games go, it's not top 5 Zelda. But it is another game that I talked about earlier about how CD Projekt Red and how Obsidian fucking ate Bethesda's lunch, spit it down, or shit it out and shoved it down their throat. Breath of the Wild does that too. Breath of the Wild destroys anything that Bethesda's ever made because there's no jank in it. And it's a beautiful open world. But for me, it's too sparse. I know that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I've always said I don't want them to shrink the map or anything like that.
Yeah, I definitely don't want that.
But I want it to feel more lived in than it does.
Yeah. It almost makes sense now because it's like
I love it.
Now it's like.
Do you want to come sit over here?
No.
Do you want to come sit over here?
No. it makes sense now in hindsight. Like, okay, that it was sparse. Not saying that it should be, but it's just like they just created it's the first
ginormous
thing,
Mm-hmm.
and so now they've got like this base that they could build off of.
Right.
And yeah. So.
This is the Assassin's Creed 1. This is the Uncharted 1. This is the Borderlands 1.
Yeah.
And while I love all 3 of those games I just mentioned, they're not on my top 20 either. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood made it just barely to the top 20.
Well, Borderlands 1 came out in the last decade, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Neither did Assassin's Creed 1 or 2.
Right.
But I'm just saying, that's what it is to... That's what I hope it is for this Breath of the Wild 2 game that they're talking about. I hope it is the Uncharted one.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's not Oblivion versus Skyrim. I hope it's not Fallout 3 versus Fallout 4. I hope it is... Okay, this was the proof. This proves Nintendo can do an open world game very competently. Mm-hmm. Now, let's do an open world game like fucking Nintendo would do an open world game.
I mean, it's got to be different enough, right, for them to put a 2 on it and have it not be DLC. Like, I think it's going to be a Majora's Mask Ocarina of Time situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even know that I'm considering... Well, it's weird. I don't know that I'm considering Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever they call it to be the next definitive Zelda. Even though it probably technically would be.
You can't do Divine Beasts because now they're all on your side unless they arbitrarily make them against you again. So I think we're going to see the return of traditional dungeons because of that. But yeah, that's enough about that.
Yeah.
That's my list. That's our lists.
Of the decade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can I just say what I was going to say? So for some reason, I have bad, I don't recollect Ocarina of Time as well as I feel like I should.
Mm-hmm.
So, my answer, off the cuff, without really thinking about it, I probably would put Link to the Past.
Yep, I knew you would say Link to the Past too. But yeah.
And then honestly, I probably would have Wind Waker pretty high up there too. I don't give a fuck what anybody says about that game.
Oh no, I bet.
Art style be damned.
Yep.
Art style be
I've
damned.
only really played fully all 3 games.
Which ones?
The first one,
On NES. Okay.
yeah, Legends of Zelda, and then I played Link to the Past
Mm-hmm.
and A Link Between Worlds.
Gotcha.
And out of those, it's hard to choose between Link Between Worlds
No Link to the Past.
And Link to the Past.
Link Between Worlds is the one that is
DS.
3DS.
a spiritual successor.
It's the same. It's the same map.
Right, the
Yeah.
map's the same, but I mean, yeah, it's
It's-
not.
It's kind of a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to choose between those two.
Yeah. So that's our list. Our top 10 favorite video games of the decade.
Thank you for joining us, especially if you're here live.
Yeah.
Like Broken Wolf.
It was light out when we started.
Yeah.
Yes. This is a grind,
Yes.
as the kids say.
But yeah, if you want to check us out, make sure you check out this YouTube page. Go back. We've got full shows, clips. We talk about movies, video games, entertainment, basically anything that fucking strikes our fancy that day. Yeah, and if you want to catch us on podcast services, just search SSWL Network. It'll pop up on pretty much anything. And if we're not there, let us know.
So until next time.
That was some shit we like.